The Yule log represents Nimrod being cut down by his enemies. The Christmas tree represents the slain god revived and worshipped on his birthday. The accounts of Nimrod's rebellion against the Most High can be found in traditions celebrated throughout all cultures of the world today. Although the nations were banished across the earth and their languages changed, they still kept with them their systems of worship. As the empires changed, the worship of Nimrod continued, but under various names and guises. It's a known fact that when Rome became a world power, she adopted into her empire the gods of the countries which she conquered. Since Babylon was a source from which all idolatry flowed, we can see how the gods of Babylon were worshipped in Rome. The Romans didn't invent anything new, but became a conduit through which these Babylonian holidays were passed into our modern era. Jeremiah 51:7 says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. When it says the nations have drunken of her wine and are mad, it represents the nations adopting the philosophies of the Babylonians, in particular Rome. The penetration of the religion of Babylon became so general and well known that Rome was called the New Babylon. Faith of Our Fathers, 1917 edition, Cardinal Gibbons. Proof of that is when you turn to 1 Peter 5:13, Peter's speaking to the Israelites that were in Rome. But note in the 13th verse it says, the church that is at Babylon. Why? Because Rome was called Babylon. When pagan Rome became papal Rome, the holidays that were previously celebrated by pagans were transformed into Christian holidays. If you do a simple study of the Catholic Church, it would reveal that in every case, Christianity didn't destroy paganism, but adopted it. To bait pagans into the Christian Church, it was a policy of the Church to amalgamate pagan festivals within the Church. Pope Gregory wrote to Augustine, the first missionary of the British Isles, in 597 AD. Do not destroy the temples of the English gods. Change them into Christian churches. Do not forbid the customs which have been associated with old religions. Consecrate them to Christian use. How then did the Roman Church fix on December the 25th as Christmas Day? Why, thus long before the 4th century and long before the Christian era itself, a festival was celebrated among the heathen at the precise time of the year in honour of the birth of the son of the Babylonian Queen of Heaven. It may fairly be presumed that in order to conciliate the heathen and to swell the number of nominal adherents of Christianity, the same festival was adopted by the Roman Church, giving it only the name of Christ. This tendency on the part of Christians to meet paganism halfway was very early developed. The Two Babylons, page 93. The old pagan holidays were replaced by Christian festivals. The Robigalia became the major litany, the Ambarvilla the minor litany. The Lupercalia was transformed into the purification of Mary, the feast of resurrection of Saul Invictus into Christmas. Eternal Rome, page 325. So, Saul Invictus was changed into Christmas. Now, Saul is Latin terminology, so I'm going to look into this Webster's Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary and find out what it means. Saul, an ancient Roman god personifying the sun, variously identified with the Greek god Helios. So it says variously identified with the Greek god Helios. Now, let's see who else this god Saul is identified with. This is a dictionary of folklore and legend. On page 498 it says, he was called Saul by the Romans and often simply Titan. I have a book here called The Two Babylons by Alexander Hislop, if the camera can move in on that. Keep in mind that Saul is called Titan, proved to be the worship of Nimrod and his wife. Now let's look at the word Titan. Let's show you who Titan is. Let's see if we can find Titan, another alias of Saul Invictus, who's supposed to represent Christ. Here he is right here. Titan or Titan, Typhon, and who? Satan. But how can Christmas represent Satan? See you're worshipping Satan when you celebrate Christmas.
In the pagan world of the Gentiles, they practiced something called dualism, which is the worship of demon gods. It was only through the teachings of Paul and the disciples in the New Testament that it was revealed that the Gentiles were worshipping evil spirits. Just like it's being revealed that our people who blindly celebrate this holiday called Christmas are worshipping Satan, the devil. That's why the scripture says, learn not the way of the heathen. In 1 Corinthians 10 and 20 it says, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not the Most High. See, the Most High is very specific on how you worship him. He wants you to know exactly who he is. But Satan's not like that. He don't care how you worship him or what guise you worship him in. But those that the Most High has woken up, that have their finger on the pulse, are wise to Satan's devices. The scripture says if it were possible they would deceive the very elect. See, Satan knows that most people wouldn't worship him consciously, so he attracts them by creating schemes and guises through which you worship him subliminally. Christmas is one of the guises of Satan, and to participate and celebrate this pagan-born holiday is a worship of Satan. Shalom.